What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be reviewing round 8, Port Adelaide versus Essendon at the Adelaide Oval in front of 36,500 people. A big crowd on a very, very cold yet weird Sunday afternoon game at the Adelaide Oval, with Port by 5 points in the end in what was an absolute thriller. A game that was very frustrating to watch, but also at the same time a lot of positives to take out of it. So without further ado, let's get straight into it and review round 8. Well, it was a very interesting game, wasn't it, Port fans? It was something that we sat through and just thought we should just be a little bit further ahead. The first quarter was a bit interesting because the game was very much played on their terms. There was a lot of, when it came to the contest in the middle of the ground, whether it was centre clearances or stoppages in general, they were dominating us right around the ground, and the midfield were a little bit slow to wake up. And when it got to that stage where we were still chipping away at the lead, but Essendon were kicking straight. It was, I think, 6 goals, 37-22 at quarter time, and it was a very interesting feeling because it almost felt like that I just knew we were still going to win the game regardless of the poor start, and I think that's a little bit of the trust that I've earned back from the club at the moment in terms of how we play. We're just grinding out wins. We're just doing the right thing, finding a way to win games. It is so crucial to find ways to win games, no matter who you're playing, no matter where, the conditions, and anything in particular. We saw it with Collingwood last year, and they made it with a prelim. Last year, we didn't win games that were under 2 goals. We've now come into this year. We've played, we're 6-2, which is a fantastic result. We've played some fairly good opposition throughout those wins and also losses. And the games that we've lost by less than 2 goals, we've won. Sydney, we won by a point. St Kilda, we won by 7 points. And then Essendon, we won by 5 points. So we're 3 from 3 when it comes to beating teams by 2 goals or less. And then there's the Dogs game as well. It might be an outlier considering it was a little bit more than 2 goals. But we're just finding ways to win games of football. We're a little bit hard to read in a sense of how good we can be. But I think the patches we showed in the second and third quarter and early in the last quarter, really, when we dictate play and work it to how we want, we're unstoppable. Now, I think just kicking straight is the most crucial thing there. 12 goals, 20. A little bit embarrassing, isn't it? You come into the games like these and you just think we find a way to win games, as I said, but 12 goals, 20. Essendon, I think, pretty much kicked more goals than us in the game, but still lost it because of how many points we kicked. And when it comes down to it, a lot, I would say at least 40 or 50% of those behinds were goals that should have been. Set shots that were easily in front or a little bit on a slighter angle. We've had goals kicked from Marshall in the pocket, Pepper in the pocket. Rioli dancing around a couple, both the same. These goal kickers that we had were from stoppage plays and in positions where they're very much up for, the flip of the coin, whether or not they're going to go in for a goal. It's the almost certain ones that we have trouble with, and it's been like that for a little while now. And it caught up with us today, 12 goals, 20, as I said. So when it comes down to it, this is a key aspect that you obviously don't win premierships in round 8, but goal kicking wins you games of football. Goal kicking will win you a premiership, and 12 goals, 20 is not going to cut it in any sport or any game going into the final series. So I know it's only round 8, and it's one of those days that you just have as a footy club where you can't hit a target or you just can't kick a goal. That's what Port Adelaide had, but overall, very pleased with the fact that we could get the job done regardless of these circumstances. Look, I'll talk about the best players in a second, but the highlight of my game was of watching Dylan Williams. If this kid hadn't announced himself before, he's definitely done it now. And ever since Jonas went down in the second quarter with concussion, I believe, or third quarter it must have been, Francis Evans came on, and Dylan Williams just executed brilliantly. I think he had 17 kicks, 7 handballs, 24 touches throughout the day, at 8 marks. He's a great intercept marker. He's very good around the contest. He's got great composure, which is something that we've lacked down back of recent times. And he's really just announced himself and secured a spot for the next few weeks, I believe. I don't think he should be dropped or a sub or anything like that. He's just been absolutely fantastic and can cope in the situations that were thrown at him today. And he's very good one-on-one. And I'm very, very happy that I could see that performance. You throw that Williams, you throw the name of Williams alongside Butters, Rosie, Houston. all good. Boak was good. Wines was a bit quiet, but still handy. Jason Horne-Francis had his 20 touches and was really effective. And it was just a high possession game where we sort of dominated around the stoppages and anything but the centre clearance. As soon as Finlayson went into the ruck in the third and last quarter, I thought it really opened up our game. And Finlayson was incredible. I thought his impact on the game was phenomenal. He just made his presence felt in the ruck contest, regardless of how much of an impact he could have with the tap work. And the same thing around the ground, up forward. He had set shots on goal. He was taking big marks. He was the second Port Adelaide player this year to dislocate his finger and get it popped back in on the ground. Ali was the first one against the Dogs at the Adelaide Oval. So it's a very interesting time when it comes to seeing that on the field. But overall, all these players were very impressive. I don't think there was too many bad performances. Riley Bonner was very questionable, but he still had 20 and did enough, perhaps late. He's not a very good one-on-one player. Dixon's obviously playing sore, but I thought his impact in the third quarter was absolutely fantastic. His big clunk marks, his pressure around the ground, and he's just a very well-drilled performer when it comes to playing up forward and really creating those chances for the small blokes and creating his own chances, which is great to see. I did mention Jonas before as well, getting subbed out, which is a little bit disappointing for him because I think he was having an okay game coming up to that point, but it sort of freed up our defence a little bit more. And I think I don't want to notice that, but I think the way that Jonas has sort of turned into with his form, it might be best to just look at keeping him out of the side, or even possibly just trying to work him a different role. That might be something that could be looked at. I'm not quite sure, but he's got to find a way, especially as the skipper. So that'll be interesting to see. I thought Francis Evans, when he came on as well, was very impressive. Just quickly touching on that Travis Boak kicked 200 goals in his AFL career. Well done, Trav. Well done, Trav. I also want to touch on the smalls. I think a quiet day for Power Pepper, but his pressure was still reasonably well. Darcy Byrne-Jones and Junior Rioli was very impressive. Especially in the second half. Rioli's going to get looked at for his incident with Ridley, who got subbed out. That definitely affected Essendon as well. So, and then also looking at Miles Bergman as well, who was just everywhere in the first half when it came to intercept marking and just really taking the game on. He didn't showcase a lot with his skills, but I thought his reading of the play and his intercept marking, when to play on and launch us from down back was absolutely exceptional. So a lot of positives for individuals to come out of this game, and overall as a team performance, it's just something that you look at and go, another win, 5 on the trot. It's very good. It's a nice feeling. Can't say I was overly impressed, but I think for me, when it comes to these sorts of wins, is, as I said, you grind it out, you find a way to win games, and we're doing that this year, and it's very impressive. And I'm loving the enthusiasm. I'm loving 36,000 people to Sunday 12:40 games. Absolutely, so exciting, and I think the excitement's back at the club. We've got North Melbourne next week, and then the D's at home on a Friday night. Get through North next week. Hopefully, play at our best footy and get a percentage boost. Come up against the D's at home on a Friday night. It's going to be a very, very juicy game to be at. Overall, well done, Port Adelaide. Happy with the win, a close win as well. And it was very, very good to see that we got the job done and move into 6 and 2, as I said. I'm sorry, I'm very dusty. It's just been a big day, a big weekend in general with footy. So I do apologise for my performance on this review, but I'm just happy that Port Adelaide won. So make sure you check out the glass table that comes out tomorrow. That's Monday if you're watching this a little bit later. So make sure you check out that as well with me and JT, bringing you all the AFL Round 8 results and a bit of fun with the stupid sexy AFL players as well. So tune in for that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts of this game. My name's Anthony, and as always, count the pair.